Hey folks, Ken here. Just a quick update, and unfortunately, it's not a great one. Still struggling with problems. Um, I'll explain that in a second. What I'm going to do. Um, Still having a few problems, and goldfish particularly. I've lost 4 goldfish, bottom line, which they're of sentimental value. I have some of them nearly 20 years, so it's not been a great week. Um, so just the history of this thing. Um, Koi flashing as soon as the temperature rose in the pond. Noticed a bit of it during the winter, but got a lot worse. Did a scrape, found trichodenia. Not a big deal. Did an FMG treatment. Koi still flashing like mad after that treatment, and then sort of had an inconclusive scan. Um, a little bit of a, now it probably wasn't in hindsight, you learn, and I'm on a steep learning curve here. Thought there might have been costia there, although running it past a friend of mine, we weren't sure, but decided, listen, do another FMG just in case, because costia can be a killer. So did another FMG, still nothing. Fish still flashing. Did a load of scrapes, nothing. Eventually, took out my biggest gin Matsuba and found fluke. Did a treatment of Lernex Pro. Seemed to help, but still getting flashing. Did a scrape on the gin Matsuba again because he was very red on both sides. Now, no major ulceration, just red around the scale. So I took him out to put some inidine and so forth on him. And while he was out, I did a couple of thorough scrapes, but found what I thought was still fluke. And I'll get to what I thought was. And that was probably more my inexperience. Treated with another treatment of Lernex Pro. It was after that, and we'll go out. I'm doing a water change at the minute, and I'll explain why. I turned the pump off because I turned that off, but anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. I've noticed, and you can see a goldfish just hanging there, not gasping, but hanging around the top of the pond. And now, as I say, I found 2 dead in the bottom. I had one that was developing a tumour, and he was very bad. I took him out, so I euthanized him. Another one lying on the bottom I thought was dead, took him out, but he wasn't. But I euthanized him, just a double dose of Koi sedate. So stressful. All the Koi look good except for my gin Matsuba. You can see him down there. He does swim around. I was feeding during the week. He does eat, so I would say not critical. But anyway, did a few more. I scraped the dead goldfish, and yesterday I found something moving and wasn't sure. So I sent it to a friend of mine. He came back and said, looks very like Chilodenella or Chilo, which is a killer, which would explain the goldfish. So it seems to be, it's in the pond and it's hitting the goldfish. Now, prior to that, and the state of the goldfish and not finding anything, there on Thursday night, or was it Friday night, I put in a dose of acroflavine, which is to treat sort of fin rot and ruin. Seemed like a reasonable approach, so I put in a double dose because reading about it, we've heard a lot that current medications, they're sort of dumbed down a lot in terms of the dosage. So the fish were fine, not a bother, but things didn't improve. So anyway, yesterday I found Chilodenella. So the problem is I now have acroflavine in the pond, and doing a bit of reading and a bit of advice, I can't treat with FMG, and I need to treat with FMG. So there's 3 goldfish hanging around the top. I'd say they won't. So basically what I need to do is I need to wait. This is my 2nd day, so I need to wait another 3 days. Probably do a 25% water change every day, which I'm in the middle of doing now, and then treat with FMG. I've loads of FMG there. I just can't put it in at the minute because of the aquaflavine that's in there. So it's a bloody nightmare. You know, I went 2 years with no problems. You know, reading about other people's problems, I got 2 years, but Jesus, is it making up for it this last couple of months? You know, as I said before, I'm fairly sure I had problems with probably fluke towards the end of last season, but when the temperature dropped, the fluke go in standby mode, as we know. So I did notice a bit of flashing over the winter, but nothing to be too concerned about. And obviously I'm not heated, so my treating options over the winter months would have been very limited because the temperature was largely below 10 degrees. So the plan today is, last night I have a 90 litre tub, so I have an air stone. I'm trying to equalise the temperature with the pond. Now I know you'd say put in water from the pond, it's the same water. I'm doing water changes. I don't want to add aquaflavin in here, so this is just fresh water. It's obviously dechlorinated. I've had it aerating. I have the aquarium heater in there because it's about a degree lower than the pond, and that won't do struggling fish any good. So I'm just bringing that up to close to the pond. What I'll do is I'll put the fish in there, and then I'll add a dose, probably a dose plus 20% or so of FMG, and start treating them. To be honest with you, it's a risk, but I don't think those goldfish will make, given the way it just seemed whether they were already knocked back. Now there's a couple of other goldfish in there seem okay, you know, it's just I've 9 or 10 goldfish. Go way back to the start of my videos and see my old ponds. It was largely goldfish. There was one koi, the gin matsuba was in there as well, but he was a lot smaller. So it's a bloody disaster. Not enjoying it at the moment, I have to say. You know, you try and make your decisions and make the right decisions. I think over the last couple of months, my skills with a microscope and identifying things has improved very dramatically, and my skills in doing scrapes, unfortunately in fish keeping, and I'm keeping fish over 20 years, and koi the same. The lessons tend to be harsh, unfortunately. Now I haven't lost a koi, and all the koi bar the gin matsuba look okay, and given that it's not as though he's clamped at the bottom, but things can change quickly, as I saw with the goldfish. So you know, hopefully he holds on. I'd say it's still Chilinella he has, and it's doing some damage, so hopefully it's not too late for him, but there's little I can do. I don't have anything big enough. It's not as though I have a quarantine I can stick him in. This is the best I can do, unfortunately, and I'll put the 3 goldies in there, and I don't want to stress them too much getting them out, but that's it. I did make plans to put my UV in down here. I don't know what I'll do. Least of my worries at the moment. I got a proper bit to drill a hole, but not even thinking about that at the minute. Just want to get over this problem and get the FMG in. So it'll probably be as others do, not by the bottle. It'll be a little bit of an overdose on the bottle, and every 5 days rather than 7 days for 3 treatments to get rid of the chilo. How did it come in there? I don't know. Is it just that the koi have been knocked back, the fish in general have been knocked back with all the problems and the flukes over the winter, and it's just, something that's there and they can deal with, but it's not. I don't think I did add 4 new fish, which obviously not a great idea, but hindsight is a wonderful thing and all that. Don't think they came in, and there was a few of us in Ireland here who bought fish from the same vats, and I'm the only one with a problem. So pretty sure it was there, prior to those fish going in, and those fish all look fine. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'll maybe do an update during the week, but that's where I am. I'm sort of in a holding pattern with the pond, but we'll try and get the goldies in there later when I equalise the temperature. And it's just very small, so I'm looking at about, with a 30% increase, I'm looking at 2.2 millilitres of FMG, which is a small amount. I'll probably measure it in something like this. That's ounces. Where is it? millilitres. In fact, I can't, that's very small. I've something smaller that I'll do it with, probably one of these lids. Yeah, that goes down to 2.5, so a tad below that. And what I'll do is I'll mix it up in a watering can with this water and add it slowly over a couple of hours. I'm not going to add it and then dump them from a different environment. And I'll take my pan net head off and I'll use that to cover them and just keep them in here. It'll stop them jumping. They obviously won't be bothered by predators. So I'll just turn this back on here, stopping the noise. What I'm going to do now is just bring the pond down to about halfway down the window. That's probably around 25%. What would that be? Would it even be? Probably not, but it'll be. If I do that over the next 3 days, you know, I think I'll have got the vast majority of the aquaflavia out. And, you know, they say medicines are not particularly active beyond 4 or 5 days anyway, so I'd say the 5 days should be fine. There'll be little or nothing of it left at that stage. But you can see the koi, they're moving around, they are looking for food, they look okay. It's just the Jin Matsuba who was usually leading the charge. He's down there at the back now. He is moving around, and when I did feed a couple of days ago, he did come up, but there's one of the goldies there just hanging around, and there's another one. Again, not like them, but there's a couple of other goldies at the minute seem okay, so it's my ability to, and there's this other fella being chased. He's not great either, he's red streaks in his tail, so it's getting them out and getting them into a treatment is today's challenge. I'll probably use the pan net if I have to. You can see this fella here now, he's breaching the top and he's obviously agitated, but looking at them now compared to the ones that I lost, and even with their slime coat, the fella I took out yesterday who was still alive, I took a scrape off him and I found the chilo on him. There was very little slime, you know, it was hard to get a scrape off him. He was almost, you know, he was definitely unsavable, but the others, they're still moving around, so I'll try and get them out and do something. But you know, all the koi, even the ones I added, the little fellas, the 2 chags, they seem okay. Just get this stuff out and get treating. Listen, I'll probably drop something during the week and just let you know how it's going, but anyway, there you go. Lilies, haven't even thought of lilies at the back of the ponds, just trying to sort this out and move on. Alright, talk to you then. Cheers, thanks, bye.